Let's now talk a bit more realistically about cloud solutions and their disadvantages. If you run a business, whatever it is, you've certainly been targeted with catchy advertisements about all possible cloud solutions: AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. You have heard how great it is to worry about operational costs only, how scalable they are, how quick it is to use them, how anachronistic you are if you don't go cloud, and many similar phrases. It all sounds great, right? But let's analyze that a bit more closely. Welcome to our channel. Let's start with the popular argument stating you only have to worry about operational costs if you go cloud. It is technically speaking correct. The only problem is that the operational cost of popular cloud providers are really high. If you, for example, spin up a virtual machine, you can expect the price to be somewhere between £2 and £300 per month. For technically minded people, I will define what virtual machine I am talking about in the article attached to this video. But I mean something that you can use to host most web applications, say your backend for your mobile app or an eShop. Now, if you go with so-called old-fashioned providers, you can get exactly the same for the price below £50 per month. If you do careful research, it's often 10 times cheaper to go with this logic. And let me repeat again. From the practical point of view, you are getting exactly the same. Let me give you an example of a client who used a fully cloud-based email solution for his small business. Including everything, he paid nearly £200 per month for having 7 email addresses. Once we migrated this solution to a standard hosting, he paid less than $20, achieving exactly the same. Another example can be a client focused on healthcare industry who processed diagnostic notes using artificial intelligence. After migrating her solution to a secure local computer with all hardware needs, including GPUs, she runs everything more than 10 times cheaper. By the way, GPU-based machines are exceptionally expensive in any cloud environment. Many of you are now probably thinking, why would you go with something as old-fashioned as a virtual machine in the first place, when cloud services are providing so many great types of resources? At least that's what marketing materials tell you. Well, if you speak to some senior infrastructure engineer, you would be surprised how often they go with Kubernetes. So they can stay flexible and picking cloud providers and hence use virtual machines, even for a very complex infrastructure. Similarly, it's rather shocking how many advertised services are far less usable than you may think. Let me give you an example. One of my clients faced the problem of extracting backup files arriving weekly to Microsoft SQL Server. Seemingly an obvious choice for a cloud function, something like AWS Lambda or Azure function, and a managed database instance. After many days of wasted time, including support from the cloud provider, he decided to go directly with a virtual machine approach, which worked perfectly well, and implementing the solution took just a couple of hours. Everybody in this field would tell you dozens of stories like this one. It just shows how marketing statements sometimes collide with reality. Now let's focus on another marketing catch, which is scalability of resources. It's really true that in most cases, you can easily scale sizes of virtual machines or other resources deployed in the cloud. Here I want to emphasize most cases, not all cases, as people may wrongly assume. However, ask yourself a question. How many times did you really need to scale sizes of your resources, say virtual machines? Was it once per year? I guess I'm probably right in this estimate. But under these circumstances, is it really worth paying multiple times more to have this possibility? I really doubt it. By the way, don't get me wrong. Cloud solutions are really helpful and can save you money in some specific circumstances. What I'm trying to do here is to raise awareness that going cloud versus using other means is not always a black and white issue. It is certainly incorrect to think that staying local or using standard virtual machines from any data center is anachronistic in any way. There are way too many factors that need to be taken into consideration. It's also generally incorrect to think that migrating solutions to cloud saves you money. Way too often, quite the opposite holds. I've actually seen businesses that got themselves into serious cash flow problems when they migrated their infrastructure to the cloud. Perhaps it's a good time to turn to you. Have you ever faced similar issues? Share them in the discussion below this video. Thank you for your time. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you again soon.